In a world of increased globalization, one of the major challenges that businesses face today is how to expand internationally without their central ethos becoming diluted. Meeting this challenge, as this film will show, has been a major factor in Common Purpose's success. Common Purpose was established in 1989 by Julia Middleton as a not-for-profit international leadership development organisation. Ever since its initial pilot programmes in Newcastle and Coventry, it has expanded rapidly with the stated aim to help people become better leaders in the place they live and work.
Most of us as leaders operate in situations where you have a business card that says, this is what I do. But most of us recognise nowadays that most of the things you have to do require you to move slightly beyond the business card. We spend a lot of time trying to help people who go on our courses to get better at doing that. You get people from right across a community, right across a city. Some recognise, some not. Some just for their own energy, some chairs of parent-teachers associations, some chairs of big companies. And you get them together on a Common Purpose course, and you simply get them to see things through each other's eyes, work on case studies of how change happens within cities.
Common Purpose puts participants in situations where they stand out and their presence jars. The courses bring together people from the public, private and not-for-profit sectors that might otherwise never meet. They are introduced to unfamiliar situations and presented with challenging scenarios so they can see firsthand how others make decisions.
Well, we went to a prison, for example, and when you get a group of people who've never been in a prison from all kinds of different backgrounds experiencing prison, they really do begin to think about penal policy and so on in a totally different way.
The model proved a success as participants from the differing sectors gained an insight and understanding of how the others worked. And Common Purpose moved on to rapidly expand into over 50 locations in 12 countries worldwide.
I think what happened was that the fact that we were bringing together people from the private sector, the public sector and the NGO sector, and that they were really communicating with each other, that word travelled. And people began to realise that it made a difference. It was missing in British cities. It was there in the past, but it was missing in British cities, as indeed it's been missing in cities in other parts of the world. And so far as we've been able to bring it back, people really like that.
I don't think it was sort of plotted up front and then executed. It's grown up in a much more organic way than that, and I think that's why it succeeds. And typically what's tended to happen is that in each country into which we've expanded, there has been some person or group of people who've been saying, "Come here, we need you."
What we're saying is, we have a way that we know works. Let's go to Germany, see if something like that will work in Germany. So Common Purpose Germany works in a German way. Common Purpose in South Africa works in a South African way. We're not trying to impose one way of doing things, but we are offering an approach, and that approach really does work.
This flexible approach did present the business with the particular challenge of how to expand without fragmenting their central ethos and franchise.
How do you keep the essence of Common Purpose when the culture in which it's operating is completely different? Adapting Common Purpose so that it's meaningful in these different cultures but still has that essence of Common Purpose is a challenge.
Is constantly asking yourself questions on which bits to be flexible about and loose on, and which bits to be tight about. Which bits are essential to the culture, which bits have to adapt as we grow.
In her search to ascertain where the boundary lines lay between maintaining its central culture and allowing a flexibility of approach, Julia Middleton turned to Common Purpose's first chair, Anita Roddick, for some answers.
The best thing she ever said to me is that the only way you can control a franchise is by making the centre so unbelievably good no one would wish to do without it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of passion
Common Purpose learnt from this in creating a strong central culture through repeating and repainting the central vision.
Do they respond to,
It's about getting the central core right. It's understanding the principles that in countries where people talk past each other, if you can get them to stop talking past each other and talking to each other, then you begin to make progress. That's the fundamental core.
It could be said that the secret to Common Purpose's success lies in its hub strategy. It will start up in a country and offer support until its heart has been successfully transplanted, but then step back and allow the staff the freedom to develop their own initiatives. Looking forward as they expand further, Common Purpose remains acutely aware of the challenge it faces in getting this strategy just right.
When growing and when expanding, that, so long as that cultural essence can be held, Common Purpose will remain Common Purpose in every country. If that cultural purpose, if that cultural essence, if the thing, the DNA that makes us who we are, if that is lost, then fragmentation will occur.
Cyril Ramaphosa captures the essence best.
Every one of us has the power to transform our own lives and the lives of the people around us.